West is often thought about as a period of expansion and progress, development and empowerment. In the Great Plains, independence was everything. Men were encouraged to participate in the race for land, to do their best to sustain themselves and their families using whatever land, livestock, and tools they could secure. Women, on the other hand, were traditionally found in the home, taking care of the children, the household duties, and taking their natural, submissive place beneath their husband. But I wasn't your typical woman of the West. Yes, I was a wife and a mother. I loved my husband and my children dearly, but I was also a landowner, and the primary caretaker of the crops and the cattle on our farm. I took care of my family in every way that I could, and I was persecuted for it, for being different. My name is Elizabeth Taylor, and this is my story. I can tell many people are not comfortable with my position as the head of the household. As a woman, they feel it is not my place. I wish they could understand. My husband is James Taylor, and his mind has never been strong when it comes to business. The Married Women's Property Act of 1848 allowed me to become the holder of the deeds in my family. After James transferred the land to my name in 1881, I was able to buy, sell, and transfer land. He is also often sick, which keeps him from chores. He often complains of feeling poorly and of stomach pains. I love my husband, and I do not resent him for being sick, which requires me to take care of the hard labor. But I do wish others would understand and accept me in my position. On May 17, 1882, my husband was seen at a local pond. A fisherman watched him stumble off of his horse and collapse face first into the water. They tell me that even before he was reached, he was dead. The doctor could find no specific reason for his death, but I have known for a long time that he was sick. Life will get harder for me. James was a support system for me and took care of the children when I was busy with other work. Despite my tragic loss, I must continue on, for myself and for my children. My hired hand has disappeared. Not only was he my main source of help here on the farm, but my only form of security for me and my children. Today, I went and bought a shotgun for my and their safety. There are many rumors that my hired hand has been murdered, but I do not think that is the case. All of his stuff appears to have been packed and is gone. I do not know why he would have left, but I do know a few things. I know that I am going to need more help to keep my farm going. I also feel that I am in danger. Since the death of my husband, I feel less and less welcome in the local community of Spring Ranch. I fear for the safety of my children and for my own life. I rented out 85 acres of grazing land to an immigrant with the last name Roberts. Yesterday my boys, William and John, found him taking off with a load of lumber that came from my land. Why they shot him I do not know, but they did. Last night they took my poor boys to jail. I understand that they shot a man, but they're only 12 and 13 for goodness sake. Jail's no place for boys. Since the boys were put in jail, Tom, my brother, has been staying with me. On March 14, 1885, a group of men arrived at my farm. At first, when they threatened us, we sat quietly. After 2 unsuccessful attempts at removing us from the house, they threatened to throw TNT down the chimney. Of course, I complied. Not only my home, but me, my brother, and my dear daughter's lives were at stake. Recently, a neighbor's barn had burned down. They quickly accused me of burning down a barn, as well as killing my husband, my father, and my hired hand. I had done no such thing. I was an honest and hard-working woman, trying to provide for my children. They harassed me, and I could tell that they were not going to stop until they had a reason to punish me. So I finally claimed I had committed the most minor offense, the burning of the barn. I expected to be kicked out of Clay County. Me and Tom were both led towards a bridge on the edge of town. As I was praying for the safety of my family, I noticed the nooses, already fashioned, laying on the ground. I realized what was about to happen. I do not understand. I have worked my whole life. I have done my absolute best to provide for my children. Never have I harmed someone, especially not those that I love. If anything, others have harmed me, making the struggles I faced even more difficult. I'm about to be harmed, to be killed. I worry about what will become of my children. My boys are in jail, and my daughter is currently alone in the house. I ask God to help them, to provide, and to protect them, for I will no longer be able to.
Elizabeth Taylor and her brother, Tom Jones, were hung on March 16, 1885. The West was seen by many as the land of opportunity. However, it was not seen as the land of equal opportunity. In the eyes of many, Elizabeth outstepped her boundary as a woman, taking the place as head of a household and asserting her power as a landowner. Her actions put her in the spotlight, and many disapproved. Is it possible that some were just simply jealous? Or was Elizabeth Taylor a criminal? Someone who would destroy others' property and kill off those near her. It seems that if she was guilty of anything, it was defying the gender roles of her time, and for that, she was killed.